My hello. This is all I have to offer you at the moment, because, yeah. You said you want to hear just talking, I will just do a radio commentary of my gameplay. There's a guy who just smacked me in the face with a gravity hammer. As long as we have your voice, we will be okay. Stream has been friend-zoned, absolutely. That's actually a preview for a video that's coming out Friday, and that's the thumbnail for it, I do believe. It's like a sequel to my Comfort Zone video, except we're talking about the friend zones and things like that. I'm getting smashed in the back, but I'm not going to let that stop me, because I have a carbine. There's red dots all over me. Backside, A side, B side. What am I going to do? Gonna spam this carbine, almost get a kill, but get taken out by a grenade. Alright, now I am losing control of my controller. Here we go, okay. Starting out with the arrow again, there's a guy, top gold, he's gonna get the kill on me, he's the guy who just killed me, he is pissing me off. AIDS. I could make you thumbnails, but preferably not for free. I would like some sort of return on that, because you can just make them yourself. I'm about to get jumped. I do not like getting jumped, and I almost got the kill, but then I got grenaded in the back. I am pretty awesome at making thumbnails, but again, my time has to be returned with some favors in your time or something or another like that. Oh, stole the kill, got the double, got a grenade. Will I get the triple? I will not. I will get taken out. I'm getting a new APU, which is an accelerated processor unit, which is a processor and a graphics card built in together. And I'm getting that and a new motherboard to run it in from AMD to review and do videos on, things like that. It will be pretty freaking awesome. Honestly, like I said, hopefully it works out better for this, and if it has USB 3 and does end up double kill with the BR, if it does end up working better, then I will probably use that as my main setup instead of what I have, which kind of sucks since I'm actually running on replacement parts that have only been bought recently, but it's not doing what I need. Ooh, I just got a random kill. Okay. Gonna kill this camper. Yep, got the beat down. Deep question. Since I'm doing radio while talking, or like commentary while playing live, while you can't see anything, and I am still in like second to last place despite how well I'm doing, so it is considered a dedicated graphics card. No, it is considered an integrated one. It is like a 6555 or something. And unfortunately, just knocked him off the map. The only graphics cards that are compatible with it because like it can team up, you can either use it as an integrated graphics and processor. It won't slow the processor down. And from what I'm hearing, it's pretty decent at graphics. Like some people said they could run StarCraft 2 at full settings, which would be pretty awesome, because I don't even think my 6870 really does that. But it also says that you can team it up with a dedicated graphics card and make it to where the graphics card handles certain processing and the processor part of the graphics card handles certain processing. But I don't have the card it wants. It wants a 6670 or lower, and I have a 6870. And apparently the newer ones don't actually work with it, which is completely stupid, but that's how it goes. And I just lost. I'm in second to last place, and I'm probably going to rank down. Yeah. It's kind of a downgrade, but again, as long as the system is a bit more stable and runs better than how I have it in the first place, I can't complain. Like I said, I think it will end up working quite a lot better for what I wanted to do. And if that's the case, then I'm basically getting a free upgrade. Even if the system is a bit slower, it's running at, I think the stock speed on it's 3 gigahertz. It's a quad core. My current one is 3.4 gigahertz quad core. But the new one is overclockable. And I don't know. It's not going to be that different, so I think it'll be a really good help for me. Like I said, especially if the motherboard has USB 3 and can support my Blackmagic, because my cheap-ass MSI motherboard that I bought as a replacement when my old one fried, it's not working. That's why my Blackmagic froze and I can't do anything with it. I just talked a lot. I'm going to slow down a bit. Deep questions. Why did you start YouTube? Let me get some thumbnails just like rotating here. Your voice is sex. I love you, BBK. You're hilarious. Okay, let me pull up. Which one are we going to look at next? How to wither. Why not? And every time I add a new picture, my voice goes away. I call three-way. What? It's not gay if it's in a three-way. Yeah, my BMI farted out. It just kind of froze, and then when I relaunched Wirecast, it would not pull out a picture from it, and it decided to tell me that my webcam didn't have enough available bandwidth. Even though my webcam's hooked it up to a dedicated USB 3 card, but we're not going to talk about that. Now, Silly Solomon's question. Why did you start YouTube? Because CNanners. That is all I have to tell you, basically. And that makes me sound entirely unoriginal. But this was about my junior year of high school. Granted, or keep in mind, I am a sophomore in college now. This was about my junior year of high school. And I played a lot of Call of Duty. I played a lot of Halo. A lot more Halo than Call of Duty, admittedly. And I came across some CNanners videos. I think, actually, I came across Randy Savage first. With his, like, I don't know what he was posting. He just posted, like, gameplay with music. And he got the Call of Duties early and things like that. So I started watching him a bit. But then I came on to CNanners. Well, wow, I came on to CNanners. I discovered CNanners. Started watching him. I really connected with him. We both share the first name. I've actually talked to him recently. He was pretty cool. I really liked what he was doing. And so I just kind of started doing that. I ordered my first capture card, which was an AverMedia AverTV HD DVR. Frankly, I wish I had that back because my BMI is sucking so badly. It records at a pretty good quality if you, yeah, I talked to a lot of bigger YouTubers. Not a big deal. I'm internet famous. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it records really good quality if you get a third-party program to do it. It can record basically almost as well as the Blackmagic records via HDMI, but you had to get a HDMI splitter to split it before it got to the DVR because it didn't have pass-through like the PVR does, my Blackmagic does, things like that. I only got that splitter within the past year. I had to deal with theater mode, crappy 480p splitting, and things like that before I ever got recording how I do now. But it did what I needed. And then I eventually got a 720p webcam. I got a little flip camera. It wasn't HD though. Started doing actually some of my earlier videos were my unboxings of all my hardware. I got to do this thing. Got my capture card, got a webcam. I ended up getting a microphone of sorts. I think I got a message. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, Blackmagic is a huge pain. It's worth it when I can get it working, but when it doesn't work, I just want to throw it out a window. However, that's a very expensive rock, so let's not do that. And then eventually I got my Blue Snowball microphone, which I still have. Not using at the moment. I'm using an awesome fancy radio setup at the moment, but that's besides the point. And I started making videos. It's because they use cheaper technology and stuff for the Hauppauge. But I started just recording Halo gameplays, recording Call of Duty commentaries. Oddly enough, some of my live Call of Duty 4 gameplays and commentaries were the things that brought a lot of my original subscribers to my first account, MindFreaks13, and my second account, Ted Demolisher. Those videos, my first account's name was MindFreaks13. It never existed, or it doesn't exist anymore. I took it down at some point when I was really tired and did not feel like, because somebody was sharing like a bunch of my old Minecraft videos, and I decided I got really embarrassed for some reason, so I deleted it. And yes, I do regret that, because I didn't have all the videos backed up. I do actually have my very first video. I don't know if the stream will accept it since it flips out, but since it's like a 240p video, this was my very first video. This was before I found CNanners. This was before I had a capture card. This was recorded via like Xfire or something in Call of Duty 4, and it was simply the default weapon in Call of Duty 4, where it just has no gun in your hand and it's a kill with it. That's all it is. Oh, did I delete it? No way. No way. If so, I'll just send you a link, but I would really like to, like, play it. I didn't think I deleted it. Oh wait, I can get to it right here. I think. Uploaded videos. Maybe not. Hang on. I will find this thing. I will find it. Or no. Okay, I will just link you all. I have it on YouTube, just unlisted. For some reason, I can't stand the sound of my voice in a YouTube video. Yeah, let's turn this into Power Hour. Except for I'm not gonna rip off Child's name. What should I call this? And then rebrand it and retweet it and stuff so that people come and talk with me. What should I? Yeah, hang on, let me pull up the YouTube link and somebody come up with a name for this. You ate a flounder? Really? That's interesting. No, I'll just send it to you in the stream. I can link it. It's my stream. Okay. Here's this. This is my very first video ever. It is 8 seconds long. Like I said, 360p. And this is something else I did recently. I don't know if anybody will find entertaining. Also kept it unlisted. And that's about it. Okay, moving on. Did my H3 die? No, I'm still in Halo. I just can't actually play. Or I can't stream. I mean, I'm just going to keep this up even if I play with you. My Black Magic died. I can still play though. I was still playing earlier when I was talking. Let me pull up a new picture. Nope, let me not change this one. Let me pull up this one. We're going to change it to add a new file. Picture. YouTube thumbnails. Actually, let's just add them all. Sure, you can ask me questions if you don't want to play. I don't care. I'm up for whatever. LMA, it's gonna die. What's gonna die? The stream can't die. I'm just streaming my voice. No. Well, I guess it might not like my voice. Oh, the dog. Derp. Okay. I'm not even here today. Bum 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 bum. That dog. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. BBK Dragoon. Oh god. Okay, can I do this? Hang on. I'm uploading thumbnails to the stream to stream thumbnails because I'm awesome. I am streaming thumbnails and answering questions. Wait, who else do we have in the stream now? What up, people? Okay, we have stream viewers. I like this. Next, we will go with the let's play. Why is that one green? Let's play together thumbnail. Also, respect aspect ratio. Let's go with that. Creative Corner. So I don't mean to sound like a downer, but why do you have so many active subs? Yeah, yeah. Because they suck. Let me post the link again. Welcome back to... I don't know if you've been listening, but hi. I love you. Moving on. Wait, seriously, what? Wait, seriously, what? Yeah, I mean, it's basically because they suck. I mean, okay. Actually, both of my channels have been attacked by bots. A bunch of videos on my Ted Monster channel have been taken down due to inappropriate comments on my Skyrim videos and things like that, which is part of the reason why I ended up... Hang on, let me join BBK's party. I'm sorry, BBK. Let me pop that in real quick. But yeah. That's part of why I left Ted Demolisher. And then I got hit with a couple hundred bots on my Epos Vox channel. I don't know. Frankly, I'm still not convinced that Yaush didn't send them, somehow themselves, but I'm not going to even bother with that. I'm just kind of done with them and that channel, which sucks, but whatever. It still gives me YouTube money every couple months. Epos Vox rules. Yes, I do. Thank you, McCarthy. Welcome to Creative Corner. Let me put that in the title. Creative Corner. Be sure to follow and subscribe and stuff. I do giveaways from time to time. Might even do one tonight just because y'all are being cool and talking to me while I'm not doing anything. Were you partnered by Yaush? Yes, I am still technically partnered by Yaush on Ted Demolisher. Oh, hello, BBK. This is awkward. Do you want me to put you in the stream? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I was partnered by Yaush on Ted Demolisher, and I still am, but basically at this point I'm just taking their money. I don't even hold branding on my channel to them. You can start up the game, BBK, whenever you want. We can just 1v1 or do whatever you want. Matchmaking, whatever. And yes, okay. And my new channel's not partnered because I left Yoush. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to get away from them entirely. There's a lot of reasons behind that, but I don't even want to go into that. But I am attempting to get partnered on Evo's Vox. That is a bit more complicated. Again, because of the active subs, my regular view count is not quite really high enough to impress anybody. So far it's worked for sponsors. I can just throw some subscriber names or subscriber counts and my 8K Twitter follower count at them and they'll be impressed. But as far as like Machinima goes, they have yet to reply to me. Apparently they have yet to send messages to anybody though, as I've heard apparently like 3 different people have been trying to get even BBK in with Machinima and they just won't say a word. So we don't know what's up with that. I've applied to Machinima with like 3 different forms, but whatever. So next up, once I hit 3K, I'm going to go for the Game Station. Because I've always been a huge fan of the Game Station, and that's where all like my favorite YouTubers are at. Well, most of them, rather. That's where the Shaft podcast that I listen to is at. That's where Total Biscuit, Yogscast, people like them are at. So, yeah, not political. Philosophical. But yeah, partnership will come as it comes. I don't really care at this point. Like I said, I don't even have enough really active views right now to make a lot of money. I barely make any off Ted Demolisher, so I'm not really interested in partnering right now. I got the thumbnails. I would like a banner, but other than that, I am good. I need money, but it's not going to earn me any money. By the way, if you have money, you can just, hit that donate button below. Donate me 3K, but whatever. But yes, also, Chew and I at some point are going to start streaming, recording, podcasting, something, or Skype calls, because besides the derpy moments like in that TF2 video where we did a lot of what would you do if you randomly got 3K, I would be pretty happy and I would probably go apply for the Game Station. But I've been losing subs the past couple days for some reason, but whatever. Yeah. Oh, 3K, $3,000? Yeah, I would be moving out, getting an apartment too, right off the bat. That would, yeah. It's not even that I don't have a choice. That's where my money goes. That's where it needs to go. What was it? Oh, yeah. Unlike the derpy mushroom moments, when in the TF2 things, we often do have some really philosophical and sometimes political conversations that I think would be pretty interesting, and so if we could get some people listening to them, I think it'd be something we would really like to share and things like that. Have to cut out our personal moments, obviously, but whatever. BBK asks, why no more COD videos? It's COD. What do I really need to say about Call of Duty? Actually, that is a good question, because every Call of Duty video I've posted I kind of consider to be better than most people's Call of Duty commentaries, but that's another story. For one, I honestly literally probably haven't touched a game other than derping around on PC for like 5 seconds at a time in months, and while I take pride in my ability to play video games, my Call of Duty skills aren't that fresh. And yes, I could probably spend, a couple hours every couple days and play and get back up there and post some more videos. I just don't like it. The game, I don't enjoy the game. There's nothing good about it. And the fact that I would essentially only be playing it to get some decent scores kind of ruined it for me. Starting to post Battlefield, even though I mainly posted like 3 games and streamed it for a bit, I stopped enjoying Battlefield for that. I probably honestly just kind of died off of it, but I don't enjoy it as much anymore. I have been wanting to pick up Black Ops on Xbox because I only ever played it on PS3, and when CNanners was playing it, I wanted to play it and just try it out, and maybe I might get into it a bit and post some Call of Duty at that point, but Black Ops 2 is coming out, so no one would probably really even care, but, whatever. But I do like, from time to time, doing 1v1s on Shipment. Oh, BBK left. Okay, anyway. Okay. Doing some 1v1s on Shipment, doing little montages like that, like I did back around Christmas. I do like doing that. I just have to actually be playing and enjoying it, and playing with people, not like randies. Whatever. Yeah. Yes, Chew and I will be playing Crash Bandicoot and or Crash Team Racing at some point. And we will probably stream it, because I'm learning that it's probably a lot better for us to stream some of these games rather than try and make a lot of videos on them when my channel is apparently only for Minecraft and Halo, according to people, and the views kind of go along with that. And granted, that's how YouTube works, that's how everybody's channel works, but I never actually made my channel around that. I made Ted Demolisher around Call of Duty and Halo, which was a huge mistake, but... Oh, Reach? Really? I figured more people would be searching for 3. Okay. Halo Reach. Creative Corner bracket. There we go. Updated. No. Always useful. I think the last time I put Reach I got a lot more views, so you're probably right. Anyway, Netplay for CTR. Really? But it didn't have online multiplayer to begin with, so how would that... Whatever. Okay. But yeah, on Epos Vox, like, from the beginning, I mean, my very first, like, popular videos on Epos Vox was fucking Pokemon Liquid Crystal. So why... And then I had, like, that Halo tournament, but the people who were saying that my channel was, like, for mainly Halo and stuff like that didn't come from the tournament. They came from my other channel, so I'm really... I don't even know. But I will be posting more Minecraft soon. I actually posted a Minecraft video today, and it didn't publish to even choose Subbox, so it has like 12 views, so whatever. We go watch the big picture mode video instead, because that one's awesome. I need a drink. Give me some more questions. I feel like link your last Minecraft video. Sure. You should subscribe. No, I'll link you. I don't give a fuck. Okay. I feel like I should have some, like, calming background music going, but I don't want to get any sort of... Well, I mean, I wouldn't be using copyrighted music anyway, but I don't want the stream to, like, freak out or something again. Who is that whore named Chew? No. Okay, let me... Ever gonna start making your own music? I have wanted to, like, get a hold of, or, like, rejoins for the radio show. Oh wait, Matt? Wow. Hello. I get it now. Did I really never... Okay. Here, I'll play one of those. Wow, you've been here this whole time and I didn't... Okay. I'm a derp. Here, you all can listen to my radio work, which isn't that great, and I think was being made fun of Sunday, but that's okay. Shut up, Chew. Here, let me change the thumbnail while I'm at it. Well, let me get this going. I'll do MP3 so it doesn't freak out. I'll do the Trello one. You're listening to The Weekend Sports Buzz. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line at 384-1450. But yeah, there's ones like that, and I need to work on some new ones for next weekend, but I've got some even more Trilly songs that Brad and I came up with, so, whatever. Let's go with that. Okay, new thumbnail. Oh god, it's not... Stupid aspect ratio. Okay. What is trolling? Okay. Can you explain your exciting new partnership, or sponsorship? Oh, yeah. There's that. So... I emailed like 500 companies. Actually, I could probably get a screenshot of my email, and that would be even more amusing. Where's my sent mail? Yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna... Yeah, let me do that. I sent like 500 companies an email asking about like sponsorships, things like that, copies of products to review, etc. Not really expecting to hear back a lot, but what I did find amusing was that the, like cheesy controller gaming companies that made custom controllers, controller accessories and stuff, hello phone, hardly any of them said anything about hardly any of them like replied. One of them sorry, the controller and the like cheesier companies, the controller companies and things like that, hardly any of them reply to me. Hardly any of them, most of them just said, you know, we can't sponsor you, or you don't have 10K subs, or we're just closed. But yet AMD, you know, American Micro Devices, I think that's what it stands for, don't kill me, emailed back and they want to send me shit, which is why I'm getting that new APU processor graphics card thingy and motherboard to test out, and they said they'd add me to their list of like regular reviewers to do reviewing on the regular, which is really freaking awesome, because I can't afford things, and I like things, and that would give me things. Oh yeah, here's some of my emails, just shabam. But yeah, I'm gonna take that down now. Give you all a new thumbnail. And then, who else replied? I got these squid grips. I still need to do a formal review for them. Oh, you can't actually see them because my camera's not working. Well, I got squid grips. You can go check them out. They're pretty cool. They're foam grips for controllers, Xbox controllers, PS3 controllers. Excuse me. They asked which ones I wanted, Xbox or PS3, and then they sent me both. So props to them for that, definitely. So I got to do a review video of those, which I haven't done yet, but I will do soon. Been working on recording for it. Webcam doesn't like saving videos anymore, so things like that. So yeah, who else replied? I am actually talking to... Yeah, I really need to talk to Astro, but I seriously doubt, considering they rarely sponsor anyone anymore, that they'll even talk to me, but you never know. Oh, Gamer Grub. They do like gamer snacks, food snacks and things like that. I'm talking to them at the moment. Can't really release too much, but they're not going to be a sponsor for me, but something interesting and different is going to work out with them. That's going to be pretty cool. Who else is there? I'm already pseudo-sponsored by Control Freak. I think you all know that by now. Turtle Beach. I still need to email Turtle Beach. See? This is why I talk to you guys. I needed more companies to email, so that'll work. Like I said, a couple of the bigger computer tech companies either said they didn't have programs for individuals rather than LAN events, or they just don't want anything from me. Which is fine. Like I said, I'm really not that impressive. I just can throw my numbers at people and they get impressed. I mean, I don't know why I have 8K Twitter followers, but it works. And yeah. And this has been Creative Corner with Epos Vox, and my voice is not working for that. Damn it. I think I tried emailing Razer, but they sponsor like Athene, and that's it. Athene and Swifty. This has been the Creative Corner with Epos Vox on twitch.tv/EposVox. Subscribe now at youtube.com/EposVox. Anyway. What else should I ask, BBK? MVito Team Killer. PC games, indeed. Well, actually, I've really been wanting to play Guild Wars, which sounds really stupid since it's been out for like 2 weeks now, but I played the beta, like one of the earlier beta weekends, and that was it. And I've watched some Yogscast videos. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I want Chew and I to play. That'll actually be one of the first things I get whenever I actually manage to find a job. And Chew and I can play together, do some awesome videos. She does not play yet, but again, once we get copies, we're going to play, because she would love to play, I would love to play. What games coming out am I actually looking forward to? Wait. BBK? Fancy surround sound is not a headset. Okay, you better Skype me later, because that's important. Anyway. Oh, okay. Well. Gotcha, okay. That's, yeah. Honestly, I don't even know what's coming out at this point. I I know Heart of the Swarm for StarCraft's coming out, but I don't even have the full version of StarCraft. Basically, it's just Guild Wars 2 at the moment. I'm trying to lay low with games because I have a bajillion games at the moment, and I haven't finished them, and being a YouTuber prevents me from finishing games, essentially. I do have Dead or Alive 5 on pre-order, and I think that came out this week or next week. I gotta go change that pre-order over if they'll still let me, even though I don't work there anymore. I want to play Darksiders 2, but again, money. Plans for Halo 4. I do have that paid off, Legendary Edition, or Limited Edition. Stoked to see that. Yes, actually. Co-op Halo 4 with you, we will probably do. We will probably do some derp Halo and derp around. I would kind of like to, no offense to like Chew necessarily, but I would kind of like to do a quick solo run as soon as it comes out. Not necessarily for YouTube or anything, but just to get, immersed in the story and bring back everything. But I would like to derp around in some co-op and even maybe some multiplayer with you, get her involved. She really wants to play Halo, at least, wants to do a couple videos of her own playing Halo. And so that will be pretty awesome. I will be playing through it single player first, but again, it'll just be a quick story mode run, and then we'll do a lot of co-op, multiplayer, things like that. I don't even want to touch multiplayer until I do the single player, to be honest. I don't know why, but I think I made that mistake with Halo 3, because that was when No, I did play campaign first. I don't know, I just don't like playing the multiplayer until I played the story, because especially with Halo, that's one of those things where if you... the maps are generally straight from the story, and also, I mean, once you get involved in the multiplayer, you can't leave, and so I'd like to be able to play the story mode before I hop on with everyone else in the multiplayer, but maybe that's me. Chew is not in the same house as me, unfortunately. That would make me very happy right now, but no, she's not. Yeah, but hey, if you donate that $3,000 in the box below the stream, that can happen within like a month. So let's do this. Yeah, I'm at a new university. It's pretty cool. Digging it quite a bit more than U of L, which is where I was going. I guess you don't need to know that. Then my previous university. It's pretty cool. Only got classes 2 days a week. That makes it extremely dull. Blizzard, if you had 3K and donated to me, I don't even know. But yeah, I only have classes 2 days a week, which makes it kind of weird. I'm not actually used to going to school every day that I go. That's kind of strange feeling, but whatever. But it's a new adventure, it's pretty fun, and I'm determined to make a lot better use of this and stuff than I did last semester, make up for all my past losses and things like that. But we shall see how it goes. I am going to the same school as Chew, so that's pretty awesome. We get to see each other. How can we help Epos' impact grow? Why did... Okay. I wish to move in with Epos. Really, Vito? Really? That's not awkward. Okay. JK. Anyway. What can you do to support me, and how can my impact grow? Oh god. Just a house of me and all my internet friends. That would be kind of scary, to be honest. It would be fun at first. It'd be like a creature hub kind of thing, and then we'd probably hate each other. And then, yeah. Bad things would probably happen from there. But, anyway, to help me, I don't know at this point. I really don't. What? Oh, God. Don't. Creatures. God, Chew. I honestly, that's my biggest concern, is I don't really know what can help me the most right now. I don't know what will help my growth. Obviously, my main, problem is my consistent viewership. But that's also on me. I've got to step it up like I have been. I consider my Minecraft Wither video and my Steam Big Picture video to be, some of the top-notch content that exists and that, I'll be able to step towards. But I still need to do, the old montage-y kind of videos of random games I did, the actual entertainment videos, and that'll start bringing back some consistent viewers. That'll start attracting more attention. But at the same time, you gotta have that foot in the door. And I got that on my old channel when I got involved with Vicstar123 and Small Beans and things like that. They gave me that initial boost, which, gave me 3K subs or whatever, and got some viewers, even though most of them were looking for Call of Duty. they still stuck around and checked things out, and if nothing else, they just jump on every single video and be like, that voice, that Sing Chocolate Rain, blah, blah, blah. Don't really even have that anymore. They won't move over, they don't give a fuck, which can't blame them, whatever. But once I can find, something that'll get that foot in the door, I think my progress, especially with my own back-end kind of things, yeah, I'm moving out, but not within a year. But you have other people doing what you do. Well, yeah, but at the same time, I don't. Like, you don't see co-op commentary being that big of a deal, at least the way I do it. Or me and Chu and I do it, rather. We're trying to... Small Beans is kind of cool. He's just like everyone else. Most YouTubers are. Creatures don't freaking count. Yogscast, yeah. I mean, honestly, the Yogscast model is the closest thing that I am trying to pull things from, because they have, the greatest success on YouTube that probably has ever existed, and it wasn't like genius marketing or whatever. They started out doing WoW tutorials, which isn't that big of a deal. I could do that, obviously. Anybody could do that. And, they were pretty hilarious. Simon is a pretty hilarious guy, and their banter back and forth is great. So you gotta be able to develop that, which I'm still working on with you. We're still moving up there. And then, yeah, too. Okay. I do idolize them, but you see the part where they have 2 billion subscribers and all the money in the world, right? They own YouTube. But anyway. And then they found Minecraft and basically sold Minecraft to the world. You can't exactly predict or, even pretend that you can pull that off yourself. That was a stroke of luck, a stroke of chance that you'll get me Guild Wars 2. If you do that, you will be my hero. No, actually, Sea Nanners, as strange as that is to say, Sea Nanners probably sold the least copies of Minecraft to begin with. It started with X, who is a very small YouTuber, but he introduced all the other big YouTubers to Minecraft. Yogscast started playing Ace Trinity, talk to me later, because if you do that, you will be just the greatest person in the world. X introduced it to all the other people like Sea Nanners, Deadmau5, Yogscast, things like that. They found it from his videos somehow, even though he only has like 100k subs now, so that's kind of weird. And then Yogscast continued to put out videos with millions of views from Minecraft, and it just sailed from there. Sea Nanners was a catalyst to that as well. I'm sure Deadmau5 sold it to a lot of people, but that would be a completely different crowd. Not necessarily a bad thing, because I think a lot of people that would have followed over from Deadmau5 probably weren't watching Sea Nanners or Yogscast videos, or anybody's videos, so that's an interesting thing to consider. I forgot about him. He doesn't show his face much, so, whatever. The old Sea Nanners left Minecraft? Old Sea Nanners? What do you mean by that? I didn't know... Well, see, I never knew Deadmau5 streamed until like 3 weeks ago, so that's just me. I don't follow musicians, but I know a lot of people do. And again, BBK, you're part of the music... You were at least, part of the music zone that's going to bring a lot of different crowd to the table, which is really, really good. But what do you mean by old Sea Nanners? He's very much the same person, he's just doing something a bit different. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of what he does, and frankly I'm kind of disappointed with some of his decisions. But he's still the same. He really is. Like, a lot of people say he's changed, but he's still the same personality. He's doing the exact same thing. He's just having a lot more fun with it. And granted, when he plays Trouble in Terrorist Town and laughs his ass off, I get kind of annoyed after a while. But it's a popular thing right now, so he can jump on and do it. Yes, Deadmau5 is awesome. I like Deadmau5 music, some of it. I even have a poster in my room behind me right now of Deadmau5 and stuff. I mean, I like them. Again, I don't follow musicians. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't see the point. I follow YouTubers and there's no point to that. I understand. I'm not saying, anything like that, but I don't think he really ever said he was annoyed by people who uploaded daily. My biggest issue is... Hang on, let me... My biggest issue is he was... Oh, $17. I've made like $5 from Epo's Vox. They just won't send it to me, but whatever. My biggest issue with what Scene Enders is doing is he promised he wasn't leaving YouTube, or like the community he was in right there, when Hutch took off, and he kept up to that for the most part. He didn't, and then he decided, he wanted to be self-sufficient. He wanted to do his own thing. He wanted to be his own person. I completely support and understand that. He even mentioned at one point, being happy with his girlfriend, being self-sufficient, things like that. And then I find out he's still doing his show on Respawn on top of his daily videos. I don't like where that is going. He's not, he's not on the Machinima Respawn show, but he still has his "Why Hello There, My Name is Scene Enter" show, which I don't agree with. Granted, it's not my problem what people do, but I don't like that. Scene Enters' best videos come from when he's not doing shit, when he is bored out of his mind and he starts actually thinking. When he's posting videos every day, he doesn't have to post that many videos. He probably has, for his contract, I guess that makes sense. If he's still under contract to post actual, like, show content, then I understand that. I will let that slide. I completely understand that. But if he's just doing it for extra money, then that's just bullshit. He's probably loaded, to be honest, unless he's just blown all his money between what he actually earned from Respawn and what he is making now on his actual, like, just regular partnership revenue that he didn't get before. He's probably got money out the ass. So to be sitting there and whoring it out, like, almost as bad as Hutch is now, I have problems with that. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he's posting Trouble and Terror's, or like Gary's Mod videos basically every day now. I don't find them enjoyable to begin with. I will laugh at a couple if I turn them on, if I haven't watched them friggin' daily. But other than that, I don't enjoy them. I watch, like Chilled and stuff like most people play, or like he plays with, but just his videos I stopped enjoying, and he's posting them every day. His actual, like, entire entertainment aspect is when he just actually thinks and makes something memorable. I can still go back and watch all of his World at War videos and enjoy them 10 times over, even though they're years old and I've watched them 500 million times. His Black Ops commentaries, where he actually talks about something significant, I absolutely love. And maybe that's some weird thing I'm holding against this new style of video. I mean, it's basically like live stream but on YouTube. And since I'm somewhat using that as well, I can't exactly say much, but I just don't like it. I guess it's just because that's not what he does, and I guess I'm a hypocrite for saying that I don't want to watch something because they're doing something, especially when I'm sort of doing that, but I don't like it. I don't know. I want to see, like, weekly or every other week, just random commentaries, the only Call of Duty commentary I would ever turn on, and listen to something that just happens to always connect with what's going on in my life right now, even though our lives are completely not connected whatsoever, and to hear some life advice from some wide sage who probably hasn't actually been through anything, and feel better about myself, not to sit here and watch him giggle and chuckle at betraying his teammates in Trouble in Terrorist Town. I've talked to him through tweets and stuff. That's plain and simple. I talk to a lot of big YouTubers. I don't have him on Skype, but I talk to a lot of YouTubers that way. I'm not going to list them because that's their business. BBK's question. I completely agree. That pisses me off to no end. Anytime someone, or used to, before everybody suddenly had partnerships, anytime someone got partnered, joined a network, did anything for themselves involving their channel, suddenly they were selling out. They were horrible people for doing what they love and making a little money from it. Everybody wants to make a little money or be able to get paid doing what they love as long as they have control of it. So for the internet, a random group of people to just suddenly, pretend they are in control of these people's lives is just absolutely ridiculous. And it happens all the time. Like, you don't go to a band and cuss at them and flame them for making a song that isn't necessarily along with the genre you listen to. You either buy the CD or you don't. You may leave a bad review, but you don't sit there and just constantly demand it. And it's not lazy. It's okay. Think about how few people actually Halo Zone got shit for being partnered. Well, that's even stupider. Like, if you're offered a partnership, you take it. You get benefits. There is no downside. Okay, maybe people do it, but the YouTube community is a bit more, although it's also something I'm involved in, so I don't see the other stuff as much, but they're always the vocal majority that everybody has to show. But one, people often do have real jobs and make YouTube money. YouTube money isn't enough for them to just be insanely rich, so it's not like they're just sitting on their asses and making a lot of money. The people who do actually make like a decent living off of YouTube spend their entire, any second of time they have working on it. Think about people like Eric Aviator, CNanners, things like that. Yes, they make a living from YouTube, but they work their ass off for it. Yeah. Well, I'm going to steal a part of what BBK just said. Videos are a product. You have to make the product. You have to make the entertainer. They are putting I put in no less work on my YouTube channel than anybody else does in a real job, besides, physical labor. I don't do physical labor to begin with, so I can't really say much to that. But it requires work to produce content. And yes, everybody's views are completely drowned out by the mass, honestly, shit wave of content on YouTube of people who get a Dazzle, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and some quickscopes, and a shitty-ass webcam mic, and be like, "What's up, guys? I'm playing Call of Duty, and I'm killing some shit, and blah, blah, blah." Yes, those videos suck. Those videos are lazy. But rarely do those videos get anybody anywhere. It is engaging, legitimate, high-quality content that gets people big, that gets people money, and that requires work. Back to my example of Eric Aviator. He spends his entire life working on YouTube. He does nothing else. He edits and records. I mean, granted, a lot of his videos come from things he does, but he's always recording. He's always editing. He's always working. He runs 2 different channels. He does a lot of business back then to make it to where he actually gets. There are some bigger YouTubers. I don't really feel like, doing call-outs for this, but there are some bigger YouTubers who don't do a lot. And granted, at the moment, I guess you could say CNanners is doing that. He is just playing a bunch of guys and posting videos. But he put in the work to be able to take a vacation. And honestly, I think and this isn't even because I'm biased towards him. At this point, I could care less. But I really think he'll go back to doing a bit more work. And do people say that it's not a real job or anything? Video editing and production is a real job. Doing it self-sustained, I see no different. Hell, people used to make a living off of just basically buying and selling websites and things like that. This is no different than most people's jobs. Frankly, this is a lot more impressive than going and working in an office or working a cashier. You're doing something. You're expressing yourself. You're creating things and selling it to the public to watch. And they don't even have to buy it. You don't have to even buy the YouTube videos. It's really interesting. Is YouTube like surfing? Not just like surfing. It's like anything. Anything. Music. Art. Anything. You can do it as a recreational hobby. You can do it to say you have fun. But you can also do it to make money. Granted, those who do it specifically to make money, who don't enjoy it, who don't, who strictly are in it to make money, generally don't get very far. Because it's one of those things, like with art, you have to have the skill, you have to have the ability and the time to put into it, and you have to enjoy it, else you don't get there. But like with art, you can say you do it just for fun. Yeah, you could still sell your pieces and make some money on the side. It's not that big a deal. And again, a lot of people, I mean, sure, there was White Boy 7th Street and X-Juice, but you don't really make a lot of money from YouTube. No one does. You get the top 5 YouTubers that everybody looks up to and who are filthy rich and think that, everybody makes all this awesome money. but you really don't. Yeah, I'm just talking about the general concept. I'm not attacking things. But they really don't make that much money. I mean, it's really not. And yes, Chu is right. YouTube, which is honestly why I consider it, like I said, more impressive than other things, is YouTube requires not only the ability to have fun, the ability to play video games on a high enough level that people give a damn to watch your videos, the ability to make engaging and entertaining content, but you have to have an attractive personality, which is generally required for any form of entertainment. That is a rare factor that determines success in any form of entertainment, and which you could loll and say that's why I haven't been very successful, but I'm working on that. And you have to have a mind for business, because that's the thing, even if you're working with a network, you're doing everything yourself, or like with whoever you're working with on your channel. No one's going to give you the business side to back up, no one's going to help you. So, I mean, and you think, like something like Athene. Athene did not just suddenly be like, lol, I'm going to do Together to the Top, and then start making a lot of money. He had true, like, businessmen help him out. And most YouTubers don't have that. Most YouTubers figure this shit out on their own. Aviator was a business, like, entrepreneur before he even, like, started YouTube. You gotta have a mind for business. You gotta see things in the long run. You gotta be able to do things. And yes, you gotta know what you're talking about. You gotta be knowledgeable. That is obvious. Respawn blocks. And yes, there is an issue with, like I said, whoring out things for money. An example at the moment probably for this would be Hutch, which I feel bad for saying, because I'm sure he's enjoying himself. I'm sure he wanted to get back in the game. But he left Machinima, he left YouTube, supposedly, which makes sense with the way he did it, but because he was depressed, he was having an existential crisis, he needed to just revert back to his old ways of being a waiter. Okay, that awesome. Then he's like, oh hey guys, I miss you, I miss making videos, here's what happened, and here's why I might be coming back into it. Okay, no problem there. He's like, yeah, and I'm just going to do this on the side. At the time, he didn't even appear to be partnered on its channel. Okay, welcome back, Hutch. We missed you. We're glad to see you're posting some videos. They've actually been pretty meaningful. Welcome back on board. 1 week later, he's posting videos every fucking day. Every day. Whoring them out for money. Then 1 more week later, oh, by the way, I put in 2 weeks at my waiter job. I can't do it anymore. Which means he's doing this to make his money back, and because most likely he realized being a waiter sucks ass, which probably it does. But I honestly don't feel his heart's back into it. It might be, but just to see him immediately just be like, okay, doing this for a living now, is kind of a bit shocking. And now he's doing the same daily upload thing too. And because he's Hutch, he's probably making a shit ton of money off of it. I don't blame him, but it's kind of not cool. Because, I mean, the first 2 weeks of his videos I absolutely loved. Now I've unsubscribed again. Granted, my subscription matters not to his channel. It's still kind of disappointing. I was happy he was back. And yes, most Call of Duty channels die. Granted, most big channels started as Call of Duty. Most channels focused around Call of Duty just dies entirely. That is what I absolutely love about the Halo community, and a big chunk of the Minecraft community is that no matter whether you're going to be a big YouTuber or not, you stay involved, you stay active, you keep a decent amount of subscribers, which is pretty awesome. Feel like he's going through the emotion videos. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that too. I don't know. And I'm glad Hutch does have vlogs on Fridays, which like talk about his emotional issues and things like that. But I don't know. I mean, I understand that. I just still somewhat disappointing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Another drink. I don't watch much YouTube these days. Not enough time. I feel the same way, and yet I still watch basically every video in my sub box. What is this? Well, not every video, because I'm still subscribed to, like, Chilled and Nanners, and, like I said, I don't watch every single video from that lot, but it happens. Oh, God, go back. Live commentaries. I can't stand most of those. I mean, yes, every now and then they're good, but I feel like that is kind of lazy. And yes, he could probably be pretty entertaining. Oh, they threw up. Wait, are you back at home or back at your grandma's? Anyway. And yes, live commentators can be entertaining, but I don't find that entertaining constantly. I don't even like watching live streams that often, because I like actually watching content, not just somebody screaming a game. And granted, I don't know what this guy does, so I can't say much, but that's just generally... Oh, okay. That's just generally what I get from live commentaries. And yes, I do understand. Like I said... No, did he... I didn't... I will take that. I'm not even going to say anything to that, because yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yes, I don't blame Hutch. If I had the choice to do what he does versus, what I do, which is nothing at the moment, or, waitering or whatever, then yeah, I would do that. It's just, I don't know. I miss his old content. I guess that's all I can say. Let me grab a drink real quick. Let me play up. Let's go with that. If you can hear me. Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Call in on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line at 384-1450.
I'm on the brink.
Welcome back to Creative Corner with Epos Vox. Be sure to follow and subscribe, blah blah blah. You're all already there anyway, so I don't give a crap. Okay, BBK's question. Balancing gaming / videos, real life / friends. As a full-time student who has 2 jobs, I don't game as much as I would like, but I also get the importance of preparing for an IRL future. Thoughts? I've gone through this a bit recently, especially back around, or at the start of the summer, and, around Christmas time especially. Around Christmas time I was working a pseudo full-time job at Meijer while going to school, and having no social life whatsoever for other reasons. But finding a balance is pretty difficult, and like Chu said, it is a personal thing. But let me take, I guess, my GameStop example. Only working 1 full-time job, but still putting probably an equal amount of time into my YouTube channel, being with Chu, and having internet friends at least. I didn't have any real life friends, but whatever. And trying to, keep everything straight together. You gotta make sure you take breaks. You gotta make sure you take time to yourself. Yes, preparing for the future is very important, but as long as you are on the path of something, be it, you're in school, you're in college, you have 2 full-time jobs, at least one of them I know of is pretty freaking awesome and can be very useful for your future anything, basically, to have on a resume. Spend time with friends. You have free time? Make sure you get your schoolwork done as quickly as possible. Don't spend more time than you need to on it, but make sure you get it done and you get it done well. Then spend whatever time you have with friends. When you get in the mood to actually do things like non-recreational things, sit out and do it. YouTube and video games, keep them on a high enough priority that you can, like I said, take time and enjoy them and still keep whatever goal you have set for your YouTube channel running at least. That way you're getting the return of enjoyment out of it that you want. Then that's all you need. But an issue with me, ever since, I guess, junior year of high school, I kind of flipped over when I first started doing YouTube. Well, no, since about senior year of high school. Until things changed recently, I essentially stopped having fun. Everything had to be for the better. Now, granted, it may not seem like it because a lot of that energy went into YouTube. It went into internet endeavors, things like that. But I still decided everything I had to do had to be productive. That was my main thing, was I had to be productive. I had to do this. I had to do that. I had to make sure I got shit done. It's not worth it in the end, because while yes, I have done some things that will hopefully, be useful to me in the future. I have done some things that will look good on resumes. Hell, my YouTube basically got me my internship, and my internship will be a gateway to other things. And I maybe pulled another internship with a company today, so that'll be pretty cool. But you got to take time for yourself, because you're going to be 40 years old at the same place you would have been no matter what level you keep things at the moment, and you're going to wish you had more fun, because that's essentially what it comes down to it. And granted, I'm not 40, I'm not even 20 yet, but I can already look back at the past couple years and see that I did not have enough fun. I didn't spend any time on school, and yet I didn't have enough fun. Granted, again, you do want to make sure you get your school stuff under lock, but frankly, you can spend minimal time on that and not keep it. And with what Diddy said, it depends on how you look at it and how you approach it. With the way he worded that, yes. But I hate when people just kind of throw out there, why do people get mad on YouTube? YouTube's not real life. Internet doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. You can do a lot that's also fun and stuff on the internet that will be useful in real life. Like I said, having a decent YouTube channel and internet, set up, if I had a legit website going and my blog formal and stuff, that would make it even better. But I mean, these kinds of things look impressive if you're working in this field. Or in any field, you can set up, if you get a decent website and blog going dedicated to what you're specialized in, like Diddy's in IT. Some people might be in art. Get a good DeviantArt going. Things like that. That will prove very useful for you. You can have a lot of fun with it, set it up, and still be useful to your real life. Granted, yes, you still need to keep your school on lock. You still need to make sure you go to college, you finish high school, you go to college, and you make decent grades, and you get, a degree, whatever. Get somewhere set up. And that's, I think, the biggest flaw for YouTubers at the moment, is most of them never went to college. Granted, they weren't going to college to begin with. Well, CNanners went to college, but, a lot of them weren't having, college wasn't affected by YouTube, but the YouTube isn't going to be much for them specifically on a resume if YouTube just dies off, and it probably won't be for anyone if it just dies off. But as long as YouTube is going, if you do it well enough, it can tell a lot about a person. It can show your work ethic, it can show the quality of work you can pull off, it can show a lot of things. And again, it all depends on what you want to do. My biggest issue with balance, in general, is the fact that I can't specialize. I can't pick a niche, or niche, or however the hell you say that. And I never have been able to. Even in video games, I can't just pick a class. I have to be an all-around jack of trades, because I don't know. I'm just a Renaissance man and stuff. And yes, why are you arguing that you can't have a girlfriend in YouTube? Chew is right there in the chat, for one. High school has nothing to do with it. YouTubing doesn't affect your girlfriend at all. Granted, if you have a girlfriend who doesn't approve of your YouTubing, well, that's an issue with the girlfriend, not you. It doesn't matter. No. Okay, as awkward as this is to say, I had a girlfriend while I was doing YouTube in high school. It doesn't matter. You can't. That doesn't affect anything. It really doesn't. Just because I choose not to have friends and have like real life friends doesn't mean you can't. You can. That doesn't make any sense. Like, this is basically like just a second job, which really you can still manage time and not. Yeah, like Diddy said. Yeah, it goes back to the balance. It is. You like women in the non-YouTube section of the crowd. Okay, again, they don't have to be like Chew. They don't have to be involved in watching YouTube all the time, but you can still find someone who accepts what you do. If this is something you enjoy doing and she still doesn't accept it, then that's still a problem, because in order to have a decent relationship, she has to respect what you do, what you enjoy, things like that. That's just like guys who sit there and like bury their like video game interests at all or whatever because the girl just makes fun of it. That girl isn't worth it, and she never will be. That girl definitely won't be the one if she can't accept you for who you are. Granted, she may tease you and stuff about playing video games too much if you're neglecting her for it, but yeah. And exactly, just like Chew said, a girlfriend should not be important. What you care about is important. And frankly, if you're considering like multiple women, then it's really, I don't want them watching my videos. Again, you have a problem within yourself right now that everybody, it looks like, no, Diddy, don't do calculus homework. Calculus is boring. I need to take another math class at some point. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah. If you don't have your own self-structure at the moment, then you don't need to be relying on another individual. If I may ask, how far along in high school are you? Because earlier years of high school, if you're just doing casual dating, then yeah, it doesn't matter. But then you also shouldn't let these girls dictate your life either, because if it's just casual dating, it should not be a high priority. And you need to establish yourself. Be confident in who you are. Accept who you are, find out what you like. And then you will find someone who likes you for that. Because if they don't like you for that, they're so pretty. Pretty doesn't mean shit in the long run. I don't... Okay. That just really threw me off. And tell me this, which honestly may just like gross me out more than I want to know. They're so pretty. Does that mean you're just looking at a lot of girls and you're hiding your YouTube because you want to be with them? Because that doesn't mean shit. You can see all the hot girls in the school you want, but that is being superficial. Think about an actual relationship you might get into at some point. Oh, Diddy has a girl for you. And this is Dating Hotline with... Who's the girl, Diddy? Yeah, if you don't establish yourself as an individual, if you don't... Prostitutes. Yeah, links are enabled. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. If you can't establish yourself as an individual because you want just casual dating, if you just want to get laid, and you're going to change yourself for that the entire time, then what's the point? Adam, wait, chill. Huh? I'm just kind of reiterating what I already said. I'm not really going over anything. Okay. I need more Sunkist, but I'm too lazy to get up. Let me grab water. I think I have a water. Let me play another track. Myself isn't YouTube. Okay, well, if you don't enjoy YouTube that much, then don't do it. Just don't say you're doing it for girls. Alright, I'll be right back. Ew, Rockstar is disgusting. Don't even. This one. You're listening to The Weekend Sports Buzz. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line at 384-1450. Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Call in on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line at 384-1450. Oh god, it is already 11:30, as Chu pointed out. I will probably be ending this soon, but frankly, I don't know. I've been having fun with it, so that's why, Chu. That is why. Since you're asking. Oh dear lord. I've already been going for like 2 hours, but whatever. I will probably end it around 11:45, 11 midnight maybe. No more than 30 minutes more from now. Oh, you might just go to bed. Don't do that. Let me at least give you a call. Give me 15 minutes, please. You've been waiting for 2 hours. You should have said something. I would have called you while I was playing and just turned off the stream, like, voice. Damn it. Come on, give me like 15 minutes, please. Because I want to call. Come on. Thank you. You keep me up sometimes, so I can keep you up once. And then you can sleep all day tomorrow. I don't care. Anyway, lighter topic. One more topic before I end the stream. Something lighter, something not this. Yeah, because I don't have class tomorrow, so I can sleep all day. So can she. Topics. Another one. Why do you put reply blocks? I'm reading the stream right now. No, that topic's finished. We don't really need to talk about it anymore. So the topic of haters. Oh god. I don't actually have much to say on haters. I don't get haters. I don't hate. I see haters and I just kind of think they're retarded and hope nobody else pays attention to them. And the whole concept of a, quote, hater, just at this point, yeah, short and easy. Ignore them and move on. Frankly, people who get a lot of, quote, haters, especially like people who talk about it on Facebook and stuff, is just... that just means that you are attracting way too dramatic, you're attracting way too much drama. And yes, blah, blah, blah. If you're a person and you're getting haters in general, then you're involved with way too much drama and you need to get out of that. And if you don't see that and you're not doing that, then you're just kind of stuck with it. Deal. If you're going to be a dramatic person, then you're going to have haters. But on the internet and stuff, they just come and go from randomly because they're 12 and bored. As far as those, you just ignore them and move on. If they're in your stream, oh yeah, that one dude who kept making new accounts. That was ridiculous. In streams and things like that, you can just block them. If they're on YouTube videos, they're giving you views. What's wrong with that? Just ignore the comments, and that's... I mean... you're getting free views from these people, so I wouldn't complain. But, I mean... I don't know. I'll let somebody in real life's comments just, like, tear me to pieces, even if I'm not trying to. But somebody on the internet can say whatever, and I won't even pay attention. I don't... Yeah, that was haters... or Wings' ideology, but that was before he realized that every subscriber he ever has is basically haters, but whatever. More of these creative corners. Hell yes, I plan to make... since this seems to be cool, even if it's just with you guys, it's kind of cool. I want to do more. I'll probably live stream most of them, but I may upload like a podcasty kind of thing. Either I can integrate it with the like actual podcast that Chu and I may do. I may integrate it with the Bro Stream podcast once we actually get that up and going, which I find kind of funny since I think we were all online tonight and yet we didn't even pretend to do it. But whatever. Or I might just upload it to YouTube, or multiple options of the above. But I will try and do something different. Obviously, a new name might be needed. I don't know. I'll come up with a name. Try not to rip off anyone else's name. Try and make this a regular thing, and try and make this not at midnight to tick people off. Excuse me. That was disgusting. Anyway. Creative Corner broadcast. But yeah, more of these coming. I will promote them on my channel. I will start advertising this a bit more, especially if it attracts stream viewers, or even just a way for me to interact with you all live, because that's pretty cool. Hopefully my whatever capture card I may end up using at some point will let me keep playing, so you all have something to watch. But it's also easier to talk on a flat screen, so I'm glad this kind of happened tonight. But that's just me. No, it's 9:30 for you, it is 11:34 for me. Hey, Serenity, so... Hey, Adam, look down. Huh? Beepus. What? Hey. No. No Beepus. And yes, that's actually... Well, not video, but... Hey, Serenity actually had a really good idea. I can kind of... I hope BBK doesn't mind, but I can kind of rip off his Monday Night in the Pit idea, where I have people ask me questions in my like preview videos, or in any video really, and then start with those when I do these kind of live streaming kind of things. And I can feature the comments, answer questions, things like that, and then start obviously taking stream questions and stuff. But that would be kind of cool, and that would get people more interacted. Granted, granted, I just started this, that's why I didn't come up with that to begin with. I mean, this happened by accident, but that might be a good idea. And my voice has completely died for the night. I hope you guys don't mind. I hope I don't sound too horrible at this point. Okay. Shout out Sundays. I remember that. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to probably wrap it up now, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. This has been absolutely fun. I hope no one's too disappointed that I didn't play much more Murder Miners or Halo 3, because LOL Black Magic. But yeah. This has been really enjoyable. I will do more of this soon. I hope to see all of you all at my future ones. And hopefully we get some more traffic going. I want to see some Randys. I want to see people coming to the stream, and I think... it will be pretty cool. And I will leave you all with something. Let me find something awesome to leave you all with. Hey, Serenity, you didn't even come by until after I stopped gameplay. Wait, don't leave yet. I want to play something. Don't leave me. I want to play something. Yeah, this was awesome. So thanks to all of you who just came out because I said I was streaming randomly, despite whatever else you were doing with your time. And uber thanks to, you know, Chew for just... staying up this late, because she's incredible. I guess I'll leave you with this. Funeral. Alright. Well, thank you for watching, guys, and, actually, yeah. Feck. No. Hang on 1 second. Excuse me. YouTube. I don't think it'll play a WAV file, but we'll see. Because it's about to happen. Did you really listen to all of that, Matt? Wow. Well. You. Okay. Alright then. Thanks for watching. I didn't even know you... like, it doesn't say you're on the viewers, but thank you for sticking around and listening. I hope you enjoyed and aren't going to fire me soon, because I like what I do. It's my only job at the moment. And yeah. Talk to you all later.